Niners fans, it's about that time, 12 o'clock on a Thursday. Faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. How's everyone doing on this Thursday? I'm doing pretty good. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. I just had some stuff on my mind specifically about, the Richard Sherman situation that we'll definitely get into. But I appreciate everyone coming through to check out Jay in the Bay today, especially everyone from that good old Spotlight Sports Network. I appreciate everyone hitting that thumbs up button, liking, subscribing the channel. I appreciate it. And of course, this show is nothing. This show is nothing without the faithful, the Niner Empire. The best fans, y'all know it, in the NFL. So let's talk with the people who are in them comments. So let's say first, what's up to It's Golden Grizz. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. How you doing today on this Thursday? Corey Davis, he says, happy Thursday. First of all, I have to say, what's good? Corey Davis says, happy Thursday to you all, and I hope you all have a wonderful Thursday. And remember, the right way is always the 49ers way. Go 49ers. I like that. Thanks for tuning in, Corey Davis. CG Ruthless, what's good? Thanks for tuning in. How you doing on this Thursday, CG Ruthless? 49er Faithful, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. And 49er Faithful has an opinion on Richard Sherman. We'll definitely get into that. The LG Sports Zone, what's good? First time I've seen you in the chat. Appreciate you coming through. Not sure if you can tell, but we talk about the Niner Empire. And I appreciate you coming through, man. Hopefully you enjoy the stream. But of course, I have to start off with the news that we all heard about yesterday about Richard Sherman. And I just had some things I had to get off my chest. First of all, we don't know the players, right? We only see them on the field. We cheer for them. We root for them. We don't know what they do off the field. But by all accounts, Richard Sherman, he was a stand-up guy. He graduated from Stanford. It's a hell of a school to get in, not only get into, but to thrive and graduate. By all accounts, he was not, he didn't get in trouble off the field. He was a model citizen. Richard Sherman is the VP of the NFL Players Union, I believe, on the executive committee. So this was definitely behavior that was not in Richard Sherman's character. Like, we've never seen this type of behavior before. So I was shocked. I was definitely surprised. But based on what we know now, it definitely seems like, Sherman is battling some demons. And I think, all of us battle demons from time to time. And I just hope that Richard Sherman, gets the help, that he needs. And hopefully this is like a cry out for help. And that's what I'm hoping for. And I just wanted to go over the timeline of what transpired because there's some information we didn't really know, but I looked at some videos today. I did a little bit of research, and there are some things that I found out. So I wanted to share that with you guys today. First, got to say, what's good? It's a Niner sickness. Thanks for coming through. And like CG says, yeah, it's tough. It's very unusual of him. I agree. We've never seen this type of behavior displayed from Sherman. We haven't really seen him, get arrested. We haven't really seen him have issues with the police. Survival, what's good? First time I seen you in the stream. Thanks for coming through. He says, could Richard Sherman be affected by early signs of CTE? We have no idea. It did seem like that Richard Sherman was inebriated while driving. And also, his wife said that this is not the man I know. So clearly, this instance, this behavior was definitely out of Richard Sherman's character. But yeah, I have no idea if it's early signs of CTE. It definitely seemed like he had, too much to drink, and he wasn't in his right mind, when he got arrested. Niner Sickness says, happy faithful, or he says, hello, faithful, happy Thursday. CG Ruthless says he's overcame his own demons. Yeah, and I think, demons, we all have them. Some of them we can keep under wraps, and others, you can't keep under control. Niner Sickness says, yeah, Sherman's definitely battling a few demons. That's right. What's good? Tommy Huxley, we're definitely coming up on a Thursday. But before I lose the comment, 49ers Faithful, he had a comment at the beginning of the show. He said, being honest, the lady that Uncle Sherm's wife was talking to needs to be more empathetic. She could have handled that whole situation better. I just had to say it. Now, I definitely agree with that. She was not empathetic. She was impatient. It seemed like Richard Sherman's wife was bothering her by calling 911. It just seemed like the operator was agitated for whatever reason. But yeah, she definitely could have handled that situation better. I wonder if she listens to that call back, does she feel like she did anything wrong, the operator? But who knows? Niner Faithful also says, like, she could have just tracked the number and send the cops to the address that the number leads to. No, that's true. But I'm sure there's certain protocols that the operators have to do. But yeah, I think she definitely could have handled that better. And Tommy Huxley, we are here on a Thursday. That's right. Let's see. Let's say Swan Song. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. Appreciate you coming through. He says it's too easy to blame everything on CTE. Yeah, we have no idea about CTE. I think I think it's clear. It appeared Sherman had been, under the influence. I'm sure the police did a blood test, so I'm sure we'll find out the results of that, and that'll confirm, what he had in his system at the time he was arrested. But Sherman's wife and family, they basically said this is out of his character. This is not the person they know. So, yeah, I think he was inebriated. Let's see. Swan Song says, just because someone loses it, it has nothing to do with CTE. Mental health can strike anyone. Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. Richard Sherman, he had texted his wife, that he wanted to, end his life. And obviously, when someone wants to do that, clearly something's wrong. They need to, seek help, and hopefully, this is the first step. And, Richard Sherman doing that. Hopefully he seeks help. And I just wanted to say, obviously Richard Sherman's not listening, but I just want to say, we're behind you. Everyone makes mistakes, but it's important just to, own up to the mistake. And it's about the work he does now, that'll help in his recovery. CG Ruthless says he had 6 concussions playing football, had to step away from playing and get the help I needed. Tragedy struck me, but I'm still here. No, exactly. Yeah. And it's a good thing you got out when you did, because, concussions are a real thing. I think we're learning more and more about the brain and just about, mental health and that aspect. And it's very important. You have to take care of not only your mental, your physical, all that. So it's very important. Tommy Huxley says, I think he speaks for all of us. Tommy Huxley says, CG, I'm glad you're still here. Absolutely. You speak for all of us, Tommy Huxley. 49 Faithful says mental health is no joke. Hope Sherman gets well soon. Yeah, I hope so too. CG said mental health was an issue I once dealt with, and it's no joke. And absolutely. And there are a few things that I found out this morning that I hadn't, heard of yesterday. And the first 911 call was from Richard Sherman's wife, and basically she called 911. This isn't the 911 call that we've heard now. This is the first 911 call. I don't think it's been released yet, but basically Richard Sherman's wife called and said, husband's been drinking and he threatened to kill himself, and he's also on his way to the wife's parents' home, which is Richard Sherman's in-laws. So the police already knew that Richard Sherman was on his way to the in-laws' house. That's some new information I discovered this morning. Also, Richard Sherman was involved in a hit-and-run accident, but it was a single-car accident. So it was just his car that was damaged. And I believe there was also a 911 call from a construction worker who called and said that there was damage to a concrete barrier, and it was most likely a inebriated driver. And it turns out that driver, or at least the car, was Richard Sherman's car. The car was registered to Richard Sherman. So Richard Sherman was involved in the hit and run accident, but only damage a structure on the freeway. It wasn't any other car. So Richard Sherman gets to the house, and the police are saying burglary because he tried to force his entry into a house, and clearly his in-laws, his family did not want him to be there. And the reason they say domestic violence is because Sherman knew the occupants of the home he was trying to get into. So, but his wife did say, Richard Sherman's wife did say that, this isn't the man that she knows. He's not acting like himself. And the wife did say that no one was injured. The kids were not injured, and the wife was not injured as well. And then the police arrived, and Richard Sherman was cordial with the police. But then when the police department said, okay, well, we have to arrest you, then Richard Sherman, obviously he wasn't okay with that. And he proceeded to, walk away. We don't know if he walked or ran, but he was attempting to leave the scene, and the police had to call the canine dogs and, to apprehend Richard Sherman. So he had to go to the hospital due to a laceration on his lower leg. And that's basically what happened. But hopefully, as we mentioned before, hopefully Richard Sherman gets some help, and hopefully this is a cry out for help. Survival says he was threatening to hang himself. He's not in a good way. I hope he gets all the help he needs. Same here, man. Same here. Marty M.F. Williams, what's good? First time I seen you in the stream. Thanks for coming through. Obviously, here we talk about the red and gold, the Niner Empire. And I appreciate you coming through to the stream. He says, this definitely doesn't seem within Richard's character whatsoever. This story has layers, right, wrong, or indifferent. No, I totally agree. I think he wasn't in his right mind. He most likely he was inebriated, and that alters the thinking. Shannon Sharp said something pretty good that I had never heard of. When emotion and alcohol is involved, your decision making obviously is not as good. That kind of leaves, that kind of escapes you. You can't have all three together. You can't think rational and not be in your right mind, and also there's alcohol involved. So and obviously we've never really seen this from Richard Sherman, but hopefully he gets, and as Swan Song says, he hopes he gets the help he needs. Absolutely. And it could have been a lot worse. Like it really could have been a lot worse. Sherman could have injured someone else in his car. That could have been a lot worse. Fortunately, the police, obtained him with a canine and not used more force than they had to. So Minor Faithful says, I'm glad Sherman didn't end his life. So that's something good out of the situation. Exactly. Yeah, that is very good as well. Swan Song says Richard Sherman could have easily died yesterday for many reasons. Yeah, he definitely could have been a lot worse. And Survival says they had to release the hounds. Yes, they did. Niner Sickness says Sherman's actions are definitely a cry for help. CTE is no joke. Prayers to him and his family. I feel the same way. Corey Davis says, happy Thursday, Jay in the Bay. What's good? Thanks for coming through, KD. How you doing on this Thursday? Robert Galvin, what's good? Thanks for coming into the stream. The first time I've seen you in the stream. I appreciate you coming through. I appreciate everyone, whether you're liking on the Spotlight Sports Network or Jay in the Bay YouTube channel, that you hit that thumbs up button. Let YouTube know that you're enjoying the content. and also subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate all the support. Let's see. Swan says also is if he is on prescription drugs. Yeah, we don't know. I believe he's going to see a judge today, I believe at 2:30. And hopefully we get some more information about, the status of Richard Sherman. I'm sure he's probably going to post bail today, but we'll confirm that, later in the day. Let's see. Robert Galvin says prayers for Sherman. Absolutely. Ron Z Nation, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. First time I seen you on. I appreciate you coming through. I go by the name of Jay in the Bay, and I appreciate you coming through. How you doing on this Thursday? Let's see. Tommy Huxley says, where is Payo the Lamb? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I think Payo is having a live stream with hold on one second. Let me double check this. I think Payo will be having a live stream today. Let's see, today's the 15th. So it looks like Payo time and 49ers Ultimate Report John Jay will be having a live stream today in about 4 hours, I believe at 5 p.m. Pacific time today. Make sure you guys check out make sure you guys check out the 49er Ultimate Report. Check out his YouTube channel. He'll be live today, 5 o'clock with Payo time, talking about the Niners and Rams. And that should be great to watch. Make sure you guys check that out. Corey Davis says, I'm doing good, and my prayers go out to Sherman and his family. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I appreciate you coming through too, KD. Roberto, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. Appreciate you coming through. We're just talking about, Richard Sherman. I was shocked to hear, the news yesterday, because that's definitely not in Richard Sherman's, character. And, I just hope, like everyone else said, that he gets help, And there is something else I also wanted to talk about. And obviously we can continue reacting to Richard Sherman, but there's another topic I wanted to talk about as well, and that's the good old NFC West regular season wins. These are the odds, I believe, from a website in Vegas. And these are the odds to win regular season wins for the NFC West division. So the Arizona Cardinals, 8 wins, Seattle Seahawks, 9.5 wins, LA Rams, 10.5 wins, and the 49ers, 10.5 wins. Yeah, what'd you guys think about that? What'd you guys think about the regular season wins odds? I mean, I'm honestly kind of surprised that the Cardinals are only at 8 wins. They definitely, I think they got better in their offseason. They traded for Rodney Hudson at the center position. He should, help that offensive line. And they also got AJ Green. They got JJ Watt. They still have Chandler Jones. I'm kind of surprised that the Cardinals are only at 8 wins. Now, Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray have yet to get to the playoffs, so that could be a reason why. But, I was kind of surprised by that, 8 wins. Marty M.F. Williams says, let's go Hawks. What do you think about that that prediction that Vegas has about the Seattle Seahawks? Looks like their odds for regular season wins are 9.5 wins. What do you think about that, Marty? Do you think the Seattle Seahawks will have over or under 9.5 wins? Let me know in them comments. Yeah, let me know about your Seattle Seahawks. Let's see. Marty says that the Seahawks are the NFC West Kings. All right. We'll see, man. We shall see. I think, there's no debate that Russell Wilson, he is the best quarterback in the division. I don't think there's any debate about that. The Hawks, they have excellent receivers. Got Ty Lockett, Metcalf. They also added a receiver in the draft. And I think the Achilles heel of the Seahawks is their defense. I know last year they definitely struggled to get after the pass. They struggled to get after the opposing quarterback. And, that's why that's probably the reason why Jamal Adams was brought in to help, add pressure to the quarterback. I know you guys traded for Carlos Dunlap like right before the trade deadline, and you guys retained him this offseason. So Carlos Dunlap definitely helped your guys' pass rush last year. And then you pair Carlos Dunlap with Kerry Hyder. Kerry Hyder, why'd you have to go to the Seahawks, man? What's up with that? But Kerry Hyder, definitely adds a good 1-2 punch on that edge rushing for the Seahawks with Hyder and Carlos Dunlap. And then, of course, Jamal Adams, he wants a big-time contract. He wants to reset that safety market. I'm sure he's looking upwards of $18 million per year at the safety position. So that'd be interesting to see if the Seahawks can get a deal done with Jamal Adams. Looks like Tommy Huxley does not agree with Marty's NFC West prediction. Let's see. Marty says, I'm going to try not to stomp the yard too much. I respect the channel and work in the division. Well, I appreciate the kind words, but you're confident about your team. I respect that. But how many wins do you think you'll get? How many wins do you think? Do you think you'll get above 9.5 wins? I think you'll have to in order to win the division. I think the division winner will have to get at least 12 wins. In NFC West, I think the division winner will have more than 12 wins. Looks like Tommy Huxley feel the Seahawks will be one and done. And Tommy also says, yeah, there is Russell Wilson sucks. Really? So, Tommy, who's the best quarterback in the NFC West? Let me know in them comments. Let me know, Tommy, who is the best quarterback in the NFC West? Caleb Douglas, what's good? Thanks for tuning into the stream. The first time I've seen you on. I appreciate you coming through, rocking with your boy, Jay in the Bay. And, of course, we talk about the 49ers here. And hopefully you enjoy the stream. Tommy Huxley says Jamal Adams should switch to edge. He can't cover a toilet seat. Well, Jamal Adams, I feel like he's definitely a playmaker when he's on the field. It seems like one of his best assets is getting after, the quarterback. And that is an asset that is very valuable. In the NFL, you got to get after the quarterback. You have to make the other quarterback be uncomfortable in the pocket, and Jamal Adams can do that. Now, his coverage skills, they're probably not the best, for a safety position. They're not the best, but it all depends on how Seattle uses him. He was very effective last year in getting after the passer, and he made opposing offenses feel him on the field. Like, he's a very intense player. He's definitely not afraid of hitting you. And you want Jamal Adams on your defense for sure. You just have to put him in a position to succeed. Let's see. Marty says, I think that's actually a safe over. We're looking primed and ready to win now, more so than last year. Even I'm big on the addition of Gabe Jackson, Kerry Hyder, and Ahkello Witherspoon, as well as Gerald. Hey, Marty, what's up with them Seahawks getting them Niners leftovers? What's up with that, man? Let me know in them comments. First, y'all go after Kerry Hyder. Then you get Ahkello Witherspoon. And I liked Ahkello Witherspoon. In 2019, Ahkello Witherspoon was a good cornerback. He got injured and he wasn't the same. I don't know if he never fully recovered from that injury or his confidence wasn't there. But yeah, Ahkello hasn't really been the same player for the last year and a half. He's shown some flashes last year in a few regular season games, but that'll be interesting to see Ahkello Witherspoon on a different team. And let's see how he plays. But yeah, I would be high on Gabe Jackson. He definitely elevates the interior of that offensive line. He's a good guard. And yeah, I like Kerry Hyder. Kerry Hyder led the Niners in sacks last year. So, I'm definitely he's definitely a playmaker, and I think that's a good 1-2 punch with Hyder and Dunlap on that edge. Let's see. Gerald Everett, the tight end. Yeah, he's a pretty good tight end. And Russell Wilson does throw to his tight ends as well. He pretty much throws to every position. So Gerald Everett should eat with the NFC West. He should do pretty well. Tommy says, can't wait to pick on Spoon. That guy is trash. Well, he wasn't our best corner. I'll say that. But I would say that a secondary's best friend is, you guessed it, faithful, a pass rush. You got to have a pass rush. If you make the quarterback, throw the ball before they're ready, or if you make the quarterback feel rushed, or if you make the quarterback get out of their spot, that's usually a recipe for success. And if you can do that in under 4 seconds, that's even better. That's less time the linebackers have to cover. That's less time your corners and safeties have to cover. And, if the Seahawks have a decent or above average pass rush, Akello should fit in well, because during that 2019 season, Akello was playing pretty good. And partly because of the pass rush that we had with Bosa, with Armstead, with Buckner, and with D Ford. So he may play better in Seattle. You never know. And let's see, Tommy Huxley. Let me go back up to that comment. Let's see. And I appreciate everyone leaving comments. I appreciate y'all conversing with me. Let's see. Tommy Huxley says Kerry Hyder is a backup edge. I mean, he balled out last year, though, Tommy. He balled out. He had 8.5 sacks. That's pretty good. That's the average, about a sack every other game, I think I don't know. Would you take this bet, Tommy? Would you say if Samson would you lock it in now that Samson gets at least 8.5 sacks? Would that be considered a backup edge, or do you think Samson will get more than 8.5 sacks this year? I think I would probably lock it in. Samson gets at least 8.5 sacks. I think I would lock that in because he's definitely a playmaker on this line. Let's see. Tommy says Bucum is better than Hyder. Interesting. All right. Well, if you're looking at the stats, Samson, he only has 4.5 sacks. But the Rams did not really use him the way the Niners will. The Niners plan on using Samson. Hey, go after the quarterback, edge rusher. You're going to be playing that basically 100% of the time. They may flatten Samson out in the flat, maybe on certain zone coverages. But for the most part, I've heard that Samson said himself that with the Rams, he was reading and reacting. And with the Niners, he's just going to be reacting. So he's just going to fly after the quarterback. So Samson should definitely be more productive with the 49ers. And Kerry Hyder, he's a solid edge rusher. That would be obviously best for the Seahawks if he could replicate his 2020 season and get 8.5 sacks. Marty, he says, I say around that 11-20 mark, and he's talking about the Seahawks win totals for the regular season. And if for those that are just tuning in, leave your prediction of what do you think the 49ers wins will get this year. Right now, we're projected at 10.5 wins. That's what Vegas says. I think we should get over 10.5 wins. The Cardinals were surprised to me because the Cardinals only had 8 wins. I think the Cardinals would be over 8 wins. Seahawks were at 9.5. That's a good measure, but I think the Seahawks would be over that. And then the Rams were 10.5. I could see all 4 teams having double-digit wins, regular seasons. I think I could see that. Let's see. Marty says, let's hear it, Tommy. He's waiting on Tommy's response. How classy, Tommy. Corey Davis says, Marty Williams, if Russell goes down with the injury, will Seahawks season be over? Probably. I think, mostly, I guess, except for the 49ers, though, Jimmy G, that's my quarterback. If Jimmy G goes down, we got Trey. We got Trey. He's going to be looking to the right and looking to the left. We'll have Trey Lance, and the skies are the limit. Marty says yes in response to Corey Davis' question. If Russell Wilson goes down with injuries, will the Seahawks season be over? Marty says yeah. Yeah, most likely. You can say that for a lot of teams. If their starting quarterback goes down, and the backup quarterback has to play significant time, usually that's not a recipe for success. Awesomeness Sports, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. How you doing on this Thursday? Tommy Huxley says if he stays healthy, he can't avoid sacks like he used to. Yeah, I think Russell. And you still didn't answer the question, Tommy. Who's the best quarterback? If Russell Wilson isn't the best quarterback in the NFC West, who is? Let me know. You know it, Tommy, in them comments. But I think where the Seahawks kind of season spiraled out of control last year was with Chris Carson, the running back. It seems like when Chris Carson is healthy, he keeps the Seahawks offense on the field. They eat up more of the clock. They're able to get the defense tired. Chris Carson, he's a good running back. And I believe the Seahawks extended his contract this offseason. But, yeah, there's no doubt. Chris Carson's a good running back. And when he got hurt last year, it seemed like the Seahawks couldn't run the ball any more effectively. And that put everything on the shoulders of Russell Wilson. And that's usually not a recipe for success. Usually offenses do well when they can run the ball, they can pass the ball, and they can do it consistently either way. But if it's just one-dimensional offense and the defense knows what you're going to do, and, clearly we saw last year that wasn't a recipe for success for them good old Seahawks. Marty says, but it's a debate if we look better than y'all did. I think, I believe in Geno. Yeah, I mean, if Jimmy's the starter and Jimmy goes down, I would be more comfortable with Trey than Geno Smith because, Geno, he's I think he's proven he hasn't proven to be a franchise quarterback. When he got drafted by the Jets, that didn't work out, and Geno has been a backup basically for the rest of his career. But yeah, I would rather have. What you think, Marty? Would you rather have Trey Lance or Geno Smith? Let me know. And so I would definitely rather have Trey. Payo time, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, Payo. Appreciate you coming through. How you doing on this Thursday? And what do you think about the Vegas odds, Payo time, for your LA Rams? Looks like they're scheduled to win 10.5 games in the regular season. Do you think you guys will be under or over than that? Let me know in the comments section, Payo. Rams are scheduled to win 10.5 games per Vegas. You think you guys will be over or under than that? Let me know. Swanson says Kerry Hyder sacks were coverage sacks for the most part. I mean, he's not he wasn't blowing past guys like Chase Young or anything like that or Nick Bosa, but that's sometimes that's how edge rushers get their sacks. By the defense playing good coverage and the quarterback can't find an open receiver. Sometimes that happens, but I believe, let me check, but I believe Kerry Hyder has had a previous season where he had a lot of sacks in a season, but let me double check that. Let's see, Kerry Hyder stats. Let's see. So back in 2016 with the Detroit Lions, I know that's like 6 years ago. But back in 2016 with the Detroit Lions, Kerry Hyder had 8 sacks as well. And then in 2017, he missed the season. 2018, he had 1 sack with Detroit. 2019, he had 1 sack in Dallas. And then he rejuvenated his career with the red and gold, and he had 8.5 sacks. So he has shown that he can get, 8 sacks in a season. Let's see. Tommy says, Marty, how does it feel to get smacked by the Lambs in your own house? Let's see. Marty says it sucks, but we're still the better. That's funny. Enjoy my world. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. She says, I'm here. What is the nutshell on Sherman? Yeah, I think he had a bad night. And hopefully, I think this is definitely a cry out for help for Sherman. And, hopefully he gets, the help that, I think he needs. But yeah, I think, I don't know how you feel, Enjoy My World, but I think this was definitely out of Richard Sherman's character. This definitely, he hasn't shown, even his wife said, I haven't seen this person before. I don't know who this guy is. So it's definitely not in Sherman's character. But I appreciate you coming through. Enjoy My World. Tommy Huxley says Kittle is better than Everett. There's no debate. No debate there. Let's see. Niner Sickness says Seahawks' best pass rusher in 2021 was a 49ers backup. Well, they also have Carlos Dunlap. Don't sleep on Carlos Dunlap, Niner Sickness. Carlos Dunlap, he's been a productive edge rusher in the NFL. That's for sure. I'm just going to pull up his stats real quick. Because he was a mainstay with the Cincinnati Bengals. He spent, 9 seasons with the Bengals. And Carlos Dunlap with the Seahawks last year, he had, so he had 5 sacks with the Seahawks last year. But that was in 8 games that he played. So, that's not bad. And, maybe a full offseason with the Seahawks, and maybe he'll, double that. I'm sure that's what the Seahawks are hoping. Payo Time says, still at work, just stopping in to say hello. Hope you're having a great day. You too, man. Thanks for coming through while you're at work. Marty is being honest. He says our best pass rusher was Bengals leftovers. That's funny. Yeah, ever since, obviously since the Legion of Boom, the Seahawks they've had trouble, getting a pass rush. They participated in the Jadeveon Clowney experiment. That failed. They've also drafted a few edge rushers, and it hasn't worked out. So Seahawks Eddie, what's good? Thanks for tuning into the stream. We were just talking about your good old Seattle Seahawks. What do you think about the win totals of the Seahawks this season? Looks like Vegas is projecting the Seahawks to win about 9.5 games. Do you think the Seahawks will be over or under that? Let me know in them comments. Let me know about that, Eddie. Tommy says, and a Jets player. Okay, no names are coming to mind, but let me know. Let's see. Tommy says, I'm not sure, LOL. I say Armstead gets way more. Wow. Well, I hope you're right about Armstead. That would be an interesting prop. Who gets more sacks in the 2021 season? Gary Hyder Jr. or Eric Armstead? Are there any 49er fans who are going to take that bet that Armstead's going to get more sacks than Hyder? I hope so. But we'll see. Looks like Corey Davis says he thinks the Niners will be 12-5, so he's taking that over on the 49ers Vegas 10.5 wins. Yeah, I think so as well. Looks like Tommy agrees with you, Corey. Let's see. Marty says, I could see the whole division getting double. Just exactly. That's how I feel as well. I think this will be a very competitive division. I think that, all teams will be in the hunt for a playoff berth and the division title. And I think December is going to be a critical month, in the division, because that's obviously it's the last month of the season, 17 games this year, and the Niners and them good old LA Rams play the last game of the year. And I think that could determine the division winner. So let's see. Niner Sickness says Seahawks grabbing all 49ers leftover players in the hope of bringing some of that winning Super Bowl pedigree to their team. I like how you put that, Niner Sickness. Yeah, I mean, they got Hyder, they got Akello, and I believe they have a cornerback who we cut. His name is escaping me, but I think they took him as well. So, yeah, Seahawks enjoy doing that. Swan Song says, Jimmy isn't going to get hurt because he won't be on our team week 1. Hot diggity dog. Tell me how you really feel, Swan Song. Yeah, I know you're definitely a fan of Ben, but I would be, and I know Ben, said, that the Niners should cut Jimmy now, and that extra salary cap will roll over to the next year. But I still think that Jimmy G has value. I'd be surprised if he's cut, but I guess if he's cut, then it's trade area. I would be surprised if that happened week 1, unless Trey Lance just looks stupendous in a training camp and preseason. But hey, it's a professional, and may the best man win. So Tommy says I don't answer questions. Ronzi Nation, he says I don't think that Trey Lance will do good because he had no competition at his college in the FCS. Now that is true. Trey Lance, he was always, every time he stepped on the field in college, he was always the fastest. He was always the most athletic player. You could tell when when he would run away from defenses. No one would be near him. And in the pros, there will be a difference. You won't be the fastest person on the field anymore, Trey Lance. You won't be the most athletic player on the field. Linebackers run 4.4, 4.5s now. So there will be an adjustment for sure for Trey Lance, especially the speed of the game, reading defenses, things like that. How will he react? And that's why I'm so excited for preseason. I've never been excited for preseason as much as I am this year. And, Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch did an excellent job with adding new young talent to this team in the offensive line, in the secondary, the running back room, even that wide receiver, Austin Walter, the undrafted free agent, also along the defensive line. So a lot of new talent. And I mentioned the secondary as well because we got some more corners. But, yeah, I can't wait to see training camp preseason to see how our guys play. And, I can't wait to see the competitions that will be brewing in training camp. Marty says, thank you for the Chris Carson respect. Absolutely. Chris Carson, he doesn't get talked about a lot, but he's a pretty good running back. He'll definitely run you over. He can run away from you. And there's no doubt that Seahawks offense runs better when Chris Carson is healthy. That's for sure. Tommy Huxley says Chris Carson sucks. Payo Tower says, big question. If the Niners had another injury-prone season and have another losing season, how much trouble is Kyle in with his job? Not trash talking, just genuine question. Well, honestly, I don't think he will be on the hot seat. I believe him and Lynch just extended their contracts with the 49ers. I believe that was last year or maybe the year before. So, I don't think that anyone will be on the chopping block. I think maybe the training staff. I mean, that's all you can really change, right? I don't know what Kyle Shanahan can do to prevent players from getting hurt while they're playing a physical sport. And when guys train, they have to ramp up. You can't, for instance, we can't have a season last year again where there's no OTAs, no mini camp, no training camp, no preseason, and just expect guys to just run out there full speed and be ready. You have to ramp the guys up. You have to get in condition. You have to get in shape. The only way you can do that is you have to be physical. You have to get out on the field. You got to run. Like when Jeff Wilson Jr. got hurt, he wasn't even on the field. He was in the locker room. He stood up and he tore his meniscus. Justin School, when he got hurt, he was practicing blocking technique. So he was in his kickback stance. That's something that he does all the time. So I don't see how you can blame that on someone. And then also with I forgot the other safety we had that got hurt. Let me look it up real quick. But there's a safety we had got hurt. He was basically in a back pedal, leap for the ball. Like, injuries happen. So if anything, if there's another injury-riddled season, to answer your question, Payo, I think maybe the training staff gets looked at because I don't know what else Kyle Shanahan can do it's a physical sport. You can't prevent injuries. I just don't see it. Tommy Huxley says Carlos Hyde, too. He was way better on a real team. Hyde, I think Chris Carson's better than Carlos Hyde. I think so. Corey Davis says, I'm happy today. I got my Trey Lance jersey from my brother, Niner Sickness. Nice. That's dope, man. Wear that Trey Lance jersey with pride. And, man, you should put it on. That should be your new thumbnail, man, with your Trey Lance jersey on. I want to see it. Niner Sickness says, 49er fans are claiming that Jimmy G will not get hurt at all this year. Why? Because he would be sitting on the bench, LOL. Unless the water boy tackles him, then all bets are off, LOL. Well, 2017, when we traded for him, he started all 5 games left at the end of the season. 2018, he had a torn ACL. We hear that injury all the time. Is that really injury prone? Is that a fluke injury? We hear about that injury in every sport: football, basketball, baseball, hockey. Like, that's a common injury that happens all the time. So I don't know if that's a fluke. And then 2019, of course, he had a clean bill of health, played every game. And then 2020, I believe he got stepped on by Quinnen Williams against the Jets. and he had a sprained ankle. Now, if that happened to any other quarterback, could they have played through it? I don't know. Maybe. But if Jimmy can't protect himself, he can't move around in the pocket, then, he shouldn't be on the field. So, but, hopefully that's all we can hope for. Hopefully they can stay healthy. John Lynch and the 49ers have revamped that offensive line by, re-signing the big silverback Trent Williams. He was re-signed. He solidifies that left side of that offensive line. Laken Tomlinson, he's a solid left guard. I believe we upgraded at the center position with Alex Mack. Obviously, at right tackle, we got McGlinchey. I heard McGlinchey, he put on some weight. And McGlinchey is in a contract year. I don't know if you know this, faithful, but McGlinchey is in a contract year. He has to play his best ball. He's looking to break the bank. He's looking to get a contract extension. McGlinchey is going to play his best ball because he's going to try to get a contract extension and final year of his contract. And then at that right guard spot, there's going to be a competition between Brunskill and Aaron Banks. I'm looking to see how that plays out. Maybe Banks could be the favorite. But Brunskill knows the plays. He knows the playbook. He knows the system. So we'll see. But that'll be interesting. Training camp battle. Let's see. Marty says, when I said that, talking about if the starter gets injured, I was initially referring to last year when y'all lost Jimmy. Yeah. Because obviously with Mullins and Beathard, that definitely was not a recipe for success when they had to play multiple games in a row. But that would be interesting if, we could rewind the time if Jimmy stayed healthy all last year. I believe we probably would have been a playoff team, but we did have a ton of injuries. So, but the defense was still good. We really used like every running back that we had, but there was just so many injuries last year. It's really hard to guess, even if Jimmy was healthy all year. Pale Tom says, I really like the Vegas odds. I think we will be over 10 games. Yeah, I can see the Rams being over 10 games. Looks like Niner Sickness says, you're welcome, Corey Davis. Enjoy, my brother. Let's see. Let's continue on with these comments. I got to catch up. Let's see. Marty says, this season, I'd probably take Trey over Geno, but that's a debate too. Really? Geno knows their offense well, and our offense is now built for a starter to succeed. I don't know about that. I'm taking Trey all day, every day, especially over Geno, because Geno hasn't really proven, he can be a high-level quarterback in this league. And Trey hasn't either, but I feel like there's definitely more potential for Trey, Let's see. Tommy says, what if Ramsey goes down, Pale? Good question. Pale Tom says, Super Niners sickness and everyone. Pale Tom also says, and Tommy, we still have a good secondary without Ramsey, but he is an all-pro talent, so can't just replace that. No, I agree. Totally agree. A Swan Song says, they have owned us. Hard to say, but it's true. Pale Time says, but Ramsey stays on the field as long as he isn't trying to get traded. Well, he signed a big deal with the obviously with the Rams, so I think he'll be in that Rams colors for a long time. Let's see. Niner Sickness is providing us with a list of the best quarterbacks in the NFC West. So he's got Russell Wilson number 1. I agree. Stafford 2. Probably agree. Jimmy G 3rd and Murray 4th. That's interesting. Yeah, I think Murray and Jimmy's kind of a toss-up. I guess you could argue that Jimmy has had playoff success, played in a Super Bowl, but Kyler Murray is more. He's more of a dual threat at the quarterback position. He can do a little bit more. That'd be interesting. Like, if you could only pick Jimmy G or Murray for the rest of their career, I would envision probably a lot of people would probably want to take Kyler Murray, and I can't blame them for that. Looks like Tommy Huxley does not feel that the Rams linebackers are up to snuff. He feels like the linebackers are soft. Interesting. We will see. Seahawks, Eddie says the Seahawks will win 12 to 13 games. I could see that. Looks like Tommy doesn't agree with that comment. Niner Sickness says Hyder is trash. Oh, man. That's cow. Oh, man. Let's see. I mean, yeah, obviously I don't agree, but yeah, I respect your opinion, Niner Sickness. Tommy says, Niner sickness. I don't know about that, man. Matt Navarro, what's good? How many wins you think we'll have this year, Matt Navarro? Leave your thoughts in them comments. And thanks for coming through to the stream, Matt. Luke Zach 11, Chiefs fan here. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. Of course, it's all about the Niner Empire. But I welcome all fans here. And good luck to your Chiefs this year. And thanks for coming through to the stream. Let's see. Swan Song says Carson went to the same school as Trey Lance. Yep. And Wentz had pretty much one great year with the Eagles, and he's kind of been injury prone, struggled with his confidence, but he's got a new lease on life with the Indianapolis Colts. He's back with his old offensive coordinator, so we'll see. The Colts are looking to contend this year. Swan Song says there will be an adjustment for every rookie quarterback. I definitely agree with that. Niner Sickness says Tommy, his best season was under Chris Kasurek. Okay. Swan Song says I trust Kyle to know more about what he drafted than fans. You're probably right, Swan Song. You're probably right. Niner Sickness says Carlos Dunlap running with the dinosaur. Yeah, he's a vet. I think this will be his 11th season in the NFL, so he's a vet. Luke Zach says y'all should have drafted Justin Fields or Mac Jones. Well, time will tell, Luke. Time will tell. I think we would have been okay with Fields or Lance. I'm just glad it wasn't Mac Jones. But yeah, I think Kyle Shanahan will put Trey Lance in the best situation to win. Luke Zach says 2019 Jimmy G was amazing. Took y'all to a Super Bowl. I agree. I agree. Swan Song, remember he missed 4 games with New England that one year as well. That is correct. Yeah, he did. He did miss some games. And Swan Song is questioning Luke Zach's enthusiasm about Jimmy G's 2019 season. Swan Song says amazing. Well, I don't think anyone would argue that we won or we had a deep playoff run in 2019 in spite of Jimmy. I don't think anyone reasonably can say that because he had 27 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Like I believe that's an above average season. Like if Aaron Rodgers had that season, that'd be bad, right? Or Tom Brady had a season, that'd be bad. But for Jimmy G, his first year as a starter, 27-13, I think that's an above average year for Jimmy G. Swan Song says he was solid, but amazing is going too far. Yeah, he didn't have an amazing season, but the Niners had an amazing – yeah, Jimmy G didn't have an amazing season, but the Niners as a whole, as a team, had an amazing year. Just couldn't finish it off, of course, in the Super Bowl. But that year was amazing, and I think Jimmy G had a lot to do with, us having success in the season. Swan Song says he completed 7 passes. Yep. And we were running the ball down their throats. So there's no need to throw the ball. It's funny because if the Niners won the Super Bowl, I think things would be totally different. I think so. I don't think we would have probably drafted Trey Lance. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think if we won the Super Bowl in 2019, we would have had Trey Lance? I don't think so. I think Jimmy G would definitely be getting a lot more credit. But let's be real. In that Super Bowl, obviously Jimmy G didn't play his best fourth quarter, and the defense was a little leaky. They didn't play their best fourth quarter. Snacks, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. He says McGlinchey will break out. Just watch. I agree. Especially he's in the last year of his contract. He's trying to break the bank, and I think he will ball out. He will be an anchor on the right side of that O-line. Matt says, I don't see why we start Lance when he has played fewer snaps of any quarterback selected in the first round in over 40 years. Wow, that's an amazing stat if that's true. But I think, and I had Ben Meyerson on a few days ago, and basically he was saying it's more important for Trey Lance maturation process to get as many snaps as he can get in the rookie season than rely on Jimmy G, who may win you one or two more games, but Ben doesn't feel he can win a Super Bowl. So, and that's coming from a different side, different perspective. I hadn't really thought of it in that way. And also, Ben Meyerson, he's on YouTube, Twitter, check him out. He's also talked about that when Trey is ready, he should start no matter what, which I don't necessarily agree with. So if Trey Lance is ready by week 6, let's say Kyle Shanahan says he's progressed enough in practice, he knows the playbook, he's accurate, and if Kyle Shanahan feels there's no reason why he shouldn't start, then Jimmy basically will get benched. But if the Niners and Jimmy are winning, they're playing well, let's say they're 4-2 after the first 6 games, I say we keep rolling with Jimmy, but to each his own. Let's see. Marty says Chiefs fans giving y'all more heat than I. Let's see. Continue. Let's see. Swan Song says also in 2019 he was prone to making head scratching decisions. Yeah, that's true. Obviously the 13 interceptions, definitely not ideal. I would probably want to have that number under double figures, but it was the first year he was a starter. The first year he started an entire season, so I think got to give him some credit there. Let's see. Luke Zach at Swanson, the Saints game, the Rams game at home, both Seahawks games, he balled out when the defense collapsed. That is very true. And that's why I say you got to give Jimmy G some credit. No, he didn't have like a Peyton Manning type season or Tom Brady, whatever, but we definitely did not win in spite of Jimmy G. I don't think Swan Song is saying that. At least he hasn't said that in the comments that we won in spite of Jimmy. I don't agree with that at all. Swan Song says at Marty, Cam Newton has similar snaps. He was rookie of the year. I cannot confirm nor deny that. Corey Davis says Jimmy hit by Jets defense in the lower leg, and it should have been a penalty. Yeah, that was a tough one to watch. And that wasn't really Jimmy's fault. I mean, I think the player might have dove into Jimmy, I think, and that wasn't really Jimmy's fault. So, I mean, what's Jimmy supposed to do there? Niner Sickness says Carson's problem is running behind a bad offensive line, but he's definitely a good runner. Yeah, he's definitely a good runner, and the Seahawks did get, reinforcements on that offensive line. Swanson says 4 great games does not make an amazing season. I agree. Swanson says he can look at 4 games where he was bad, and I think you can look at every quarterback and say they had 4 great games, they had 4 okay games, they had 4 average games. I think you can look at that at every quarterback. Swanson does say that he was solid and amazing as a stretch. Swanson, I agree with this. He says amazing season to me means top 5 quarterback in stats that year. I would agree with that. Matt says the 49ers have proved they can win the NFC West with Jimmy G. Marty gives his take on the top 4 quarterbacks in the NFC West, and I think a lot of people would grade it in this way, at least the first 2. Obviously, you got Wilson 1. Stafford's 2. He's been a prolific passer more than Jimmy and Kyler. Just hasn't had the playoff success. And then I think some people will say, well, Kyler's 3. Some people will say Jimmy is 3. I think those 2 are, the back end of the NFC West quarterback standings. Swanson says they proved they can have a quarterback complete 7 passes and still make it to the Super Bowl. But that's because we were dominating on the ground. We had some road graders up front, man. They was making holes for Raheem Mostert. Swanson says that is what they proved. Let's see, Marty, he's giving his best linebackers in the NFC West. So he's got Bobby 1. What? I don't know what you're talking about, Marty. He's got Fred Warner 2, Rams and Cardinals linebackers 3, or he's got Rams and Cardinals 3 or 4. I mean, I know the Seahawks got rid of KJ Wright. I think KJ Wright is still a free agent. But who's the other linebacker that's lined up next to Bobby Wagner? Because the Niners, we pretty good. We looking pretty good with Drake Greenlaw and Fred Warner. Snack says, who will play more games this year, Trent Williams or George Kittle? That's a good question because Trent Williams did battle some injuries in his career with the Washington football team. Kittle, I love the way he plays. And last year was kind of a fluke. I mean, if you saw the game, Jimmy G threw an errant pass, and Kittle had to reach for the ball, and Kittle got hurt, and Buda Baker, the Cardinal safety, took out his knee, and that was kind of a fluke. But if I had to guess, yeah, I'd probably say Trent Williams. Probably would play more games. Swanson agrees. He says Trent Williams. Marty's also giving us his running back rankings. He got Carson 1, Mostert 2, Akers 3, and Connor 4. That's debatable. Mostert's got that home run speed, and Carson is just a bruiser. They're different type of backs. But I think, there's no doubt Carson has been more productive than Mostert. There's no doubt. Corey Davis giving us his top 4 quarterbacks. I already knew where this was going. He's got Russell 1, Kyler. He's got Kyler 2, Jimmy G 3rd, and Matt Stafford 4. He ain't showing no love to Matt Stafford. Oh, man, that's funny. Well, yeah, Matt Stafford is definitely going to have to prove you wrong, KD, because, I think a lot of – I know Matt Stafford hasn't been productive, but there's no doubt he's a prolific passer. I should say he hasn't had success in the playoffs, but there's no doubt he's a prolific passer. So you can't not say that about Matt Stafford. But hopefully, KD, you follow me the whole year, and we'll see how this plays out. We'll see how Matt Stafford does with the Rams. I should say this, Corey, do you think the Rams are a playoff team this year? Let me know about that. Because if Matt Stafford is the worst quarterback, could the Rams still make the playoffs? That's an interesting question. Let me know in the comment section. Marty says, so let's see about the secondary. He's got Ward, the best safety, Diggs second, Cars and Rams third and fourth. I agree with that. Marty's the other safety, strong safety. He's got Baker 1, Adams 2, Tart is 3. Interesting. Tart's probably better in coverage, but Adams, he's probably more of a playmaker. Yeah, that's probably right. Swanson, my point about Wentz is that his issues had nothing to do with adjusting to the NFL game coming from a small school. No, that's true. Because I think his rookie season, that's when he had his best year, I think, or was that his second year? It's one of the two. But yeah, just because you're from a small school doesn't mean you necessarily can't compete at the highest level in the NFL, I would say. But, Wentz did not struggle with the transition, but other players can. So let's see. Swanson says, I think we would have drafted a backup quarterback at 12 because remember, Jimmy's issue is being injured as well. If we stayed at 12, I think I wouldn't be surprised if we traded down or if we got a corner or a wide receiver. But there's no doubt the Niners were all in on getting a franchise quarterback, and they felt like they had to make that trade up to 3 to, leave no chance. They wanted to get one of the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks, and they did that by drafting up or trading up to pick number 3. Swanson says, I don't think we would have moved to 3, but we could have drafted a quarterback at 12. Yeah, we could have, but obviously I think Mac Jones still would have been there. But it's clear that, Shanahan and Lynch thought that, Trey Lance would probably be gone in the top 5 of the draft. So that's why, we traded up into pick number 3. Darth Voorhees, what's good? Thanks for tuning into the stream, man. It's the first time I've seen you on. I appreciate everyone. If you're still in, leave a like, hit that thumbs up button for the stream. Shout out to everyone watching from that good old Spotlight Sports Network. Darth says, I don't think a Super Bowl win would have mattered. Jimmy's play and injuries pushed the Lance pick. We'll never know, but I think if Jimmy won a Super Bowl, I just feel like he would be given a longer leash. You know what I mean? Like, you really want to push out a Super Bowl winning quarterback? Like, I think he would have Jimmy still has 2 years left in his contract. I think we would have given him more time because he can say, hey, I'm a Super Bowl winning quarterback. A lot of teams would value that. Now, I think if you won a Super Bowl, I don't think we would have traded up to number 3 to get Lance. I think we may have drafted a quarterback in the later rounds of the draft, maybe on day 2 or day 3, someone that could learn under Jimmy. But I'd be surprised. I mean, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and then you draft a quarterback, basically less than 2 years later? I would be surprised by that. I'd be really surprised by that. Matt Navarro says they could always put in Josh Rosen. He's unproven as well. Let's see. Niner Signet says Aker, definitely the best running back in the West so far. Wow, okay. Niner Signet says 80% of turnovers are on the air, so why throw the ball when you can definitely run down their throats and they can't stop you, and you have the defense to stop the opposing offense. Stop blaming Jimmy G. I would agree with that, but for the people that that already want Jimmy gone, they use that to their advantage. But it makes total sense. There's no need to throw the ball if you can run the ball, control the time of possession, keep the ball away from the opposing offense, and that's what you do. That's what Shanahan wants to do. That's why Shanahan likes to use several backs during the game. There was a report out earlier that Shanahan and the 49ers offense, they want to run the ball 500 times this year, which they can definitely do. There's 17 games this year. I believe it comes out to about 29 times a game. They would have to run the ball to get 500 carries, and that's only happened, I want to say, I could count on one hand the amount of times that's happened, but that's the Niners' strength. Lynch and Shanahan displayed that in the draft. They got the bullies up front. They got more running backs in the running back room. They didn't draft a wide receiver, so I think it's clear what the Niners want to do. They want to run that rock. Marty says Jordan Brooks. Okay, I think he might be a linebacker. Oh, he's probably the linebacker for the Seahawks who lines up beside Bobby Wagner. And Marty says he is a baller, and he's very objective. Because I've never heard of Jordan Brooks, but we're going to find out real soon, Marty. We're going to find out real soon if Jordan Brooks is a baller, like you say he is. We'll see how much of a baller he is when he has to line up against the red and gold, the faithful, the Niner Empire. We'll see how good Mr. Jordan Brooks is. Let's see. Corey Davis says the referees helped the Niners defense in the fourth quarter. Holding calls that wasn't called. That's true. But I guess you could argue there's a holding call on every play. There's a foul in the NBA on every drive. Like at the end of the day, the Chiefs made more plays down the stretch. That's what it comes down to. The Chiefs made more plays in the fourth quarter, and the Niners, they didn't have their best quarter of the season. That's for sure. Niner Signet says, ever since Jimmy G hurt his knee, he has never been the same mentally. It's like he's waiting to get hurt again. He needs to get over the mental part of it and just let go. He's going to have to this year, Niner Sickness. He's definitely going to have to get over it this year. This is a defining year for Jimmy G's legacy, a defining year. If he gets hurt again, he misses significant time, I don't think he'll get a chance to be a starting quarterback in the league again. He could be a career backup, and he's already made a lot of money, but Jimmy G has to ball out this year. And if he's given that opportunity, I think he will. If he could do another 27 touchdown, maybe 9 interceptions, that's a good 3-to-1 ratio to me. I think Jimmy G definitely could get a starting job next year. Matt says the Jimmy haters always want to focus on the negative side of Jimmy. He had good games in his career, but the problem is he's always hurt. Yeah, Jimmy doesn't help himself by getting hurt, but some guys are more injury prone than others, but I don't know if it's necessarily their fault. Like, do you want Jimmy G to strengthen his lower body more? Do you want him to work out more? The torn ACL, I think, was kind of a fluke injury. He did get hurt in New England, as Swanson mentioned. His foot got stepped on, versus the Jets. Is that his fault? But Jimmy he's got to quiet the haters. Maybe he can do that this year. Corey Davis says, I think the Rams only will not make it in the playoffs. Wow. Okay. So the Rams are not a playoff team. All right. Well, okay. Let's see if that comes to fruition. Let's see, Swan Song. Yeah, the narrative would have been much different if Jimmy had won the Super Bowl and Kyle wouldn't have been as frustrated. Exactly, because on Kyle Shanahan's resume, he's got, hey, you had a 28-3 lead against the New England Patriots, and you were their offensive coordinator, and the team blew it. And then with the Niners, there's another Super Bowl loss, so now he's 0-2 in the Super Bowl. I think Shanahan would have, given Jimmy a longer leash because, hey, he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Maybe we'll draft a quarterback in day 2 or day 3, maybe to push him, to give him a little bit of fear. But Jimmy's a winning quarterback. His cap hit for a starting quarterback is I don't even know if it's top. It's probably top 10, but it's probably on the back of the top 10. He's getting like 25 mil, but nowadays the quarterbacks, they're making like upwards of 40. Look at Dak Prescott. So his contract for a Super Bowl winning quarterback, if he had won a Super Bowl, would have been nice, and he would only have 2 years left. But I would have a feeling that Jimmy G's representation would have wanted to extend his contract for sure. Coming off a Super Bowl season, 2 years left of his contract, no guaranteed money. I think Jimmy will probably want to, re-up on that contract. Let's see. Niners Signet says Jay intheBay looks like he can play safety for the Niners. Thoughts, everyone? Who can play? Let me know in the comments. Who can play safety for the Niners? Dark says yes. Niners Sickness. Jimmy hasn't been the same since his first injury, which is why they still would have went for Lance in the draft. Yeah, I mean, a Super Bowl victory I think it changes a lot. But who knows? I think it would have changed some things. Swan Song says also want to clarify that all of this Jimmy gone by week 1 is based on Kyle and the team seeing that Trey is ready. If he isn't, then sure we can win with Jimmy. Yeah, I'd agree with that. And thank you for clarifying that up. And that's the intrigue. That's the intrigue of training camp, Swan Song, and the faithful. I can't wait because July 27th can't come any sooner. Training camp starts. Trey should be going up against the 49ers defense in training camp. The pads will be on. Can't wait. And then preseason. Preseason will be what? I think the first game of the preseason is the second week of August. So we'll see. We'll see if Trey Lance is ready. It's like Niner Sickness says, Darth Voorhees, love the name, brother. Marty says Jordan Brooks will not Raheem Mostert back to I. He ain't gonna even catch up to him, Marty. All Jordan Brooks gonna see is the back of Raheem jersey. That's all Jordan Brooks gonna see. He gonna see the back of Raheem Mostert jersey, and then he gonna watch as Raheem Mostert get in that end zone, and then he gonna dive to the ground, and he gonna stand up like he on a surfboard. That's what Jordan Brooks is gonna see, Marty. That's exactly what Jordan Brooks gonna see. He ain't gonna be able to catch up to Raheem, and that's a fact, Jack. Let's see. Let's continue on with these comments. Niner Sickness says Jay Rice came from a small school. Yep. Swanson says no. His cap hit is number 5 for 2021. Really, for quarterbacks? Really? He has a top 10 dead cap hit? Let's see. Jimmy G's. Let's see. Let's look up top 10 QB salaries. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Well, according to Spot Track, the 2021 quarterback average rankings, and this is salary per year. Pat Mahomes is 1, 45. Dak Prescott is 2 with 40. Deshaun Watson is 3, 39. Russell Wilson is 4th with 35. Aaron Rodgers 5th with 33. And Jimmy G is 11th. He's right outside the top 10. He's got a $27.5 million year salary this year. So he's right out of the top 11. Now, the player before him is Ryan Tannehill. He's number 10 with 29. So, and my point was, if Jimmy won a Super Bowl, you'd have a Super Bowl winning quarterback with only 2 years left of his contract. But I would have a feeling that they would renegotiate. I would have a feeling. And Jimmy G ranks 11th so far. Let's see. Mahomes' cap hit last year was 4.5. Yeah, and I think his new contract just kicked in this year. And Swan Song says, and Brady was 10.5. Swan Song says Jimmy G's cap hit this year is 5th highest. Well, according to Spot Track, among quarterbacks, it's only 11th. Now, if you're referring to on the 49ers roster, maybe that's what you're referring to. That he has a 5th highest cap hit on the 49ers roster. Maybe that's what you're referring to. I don't know. Let me know. Minister Brandon, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. He says, hello, Jay and the Bay. If the Lions fail this year, then I always have the Lions. Okay. He says Titans, I mean. Okay. Let's see. Swan Song says, no, you have to count for cap hit. And then Swan Song says, take my link. Well, just so, yeah, check out. Check out. Let's see. He says, Swan Song says 5th highest for a quarterback for 2021. Cap hit, not salary, 2 different things. No, that's true. No, you're right. The cap hit and the salary are different. But I guess my point was, according to the top paid quarterbacks, you would basically be getting a bargain for Jimmy G for a quarterback that makes $27 million. He's not even in the top 10 of quarterback salaries. My whole point was you basically would be getting a bargain for Jimmy G if he was a Super Bowl winning quarterback. That was my thing. But the cap hit, it's they can as you said, like Pat Mahomes only made $4.5 million dead cap hit last year. That's not the money he made, but that's just the cap hit to the salary cap. But that money can be interchanged. The contracts can be adjusted. They can push money down the line. They can say, hey, let's give a player a signing bonus up front, but that doesn't necessarily count against the cap. So there's a lot of different ways they can finagle the salary cap. Niner Sickness says Jimmy G won't be playing for Super Bowl this season. He's playing for trade value. I mean, hopefully we get the best of both worlds. Niner Sickness. Hopefully we get the best of both worlds. That would be amazing if Jimmy G guide us to a Super Bowl, wins a Super Bowl, and then we trade him in the offseason for a first-round pick. I think that'd be pretty dope. That would be an amazing season for the Niner franchise. Marty says, be honest, man, you're taking a Seahawks player before a Niners player in fantasy football. Probably not, because I mean y'all got Russell Wilson. He's the best quarterback, so probably not. But who cares about fantasy? It's all about on the gridiron. Who gets the wins and losses, man? 49er fan 21. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. I appreciate you coming through. I think this is the first time you've been on my stream, so hopefully you're enjoying it. Of course, we're talking about the faithful, the Niner Empire. I appreciate you coming through, man. Enjoy it. Thank you for contributing to the conversation. Let's see. Swan Song says, we only really care about cap hit for that year. Okay. Swan Song says that is what is relevant. Bryce's Sports and Plushes. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. Glad to see you're back, Tommy. Let's see. Swan Song says that is one of the reasons why Brady wins Super Bowls and Rodgers doesn't. Brady always makes his cap hit team friendly. I mean, there's a lot that goes on to that. Is that one of the reasons? Absolutely. But Brady has had great defenses. He's had great kickers. He's only had the best coach of all time, or one of the best coaches easily of the last 2 decades in Bill Belichick. So a lot has definitely gone in Tom Brady's favor since he's been drafted, out of Michigan in the 6th round. So a lot of things has gone Tom Brady's way. That's for sure. Swanson says where Aaron Rodgers always has a huge cap hit. Now, that's true. And, it's not only that, Brady, he's married to a supermodel. Supposedly Brady's wife makes more than him. That's not very common among NFL players where the player's wife makes more than the player. That's pretty rare. Wouldn't you say, Swan Song? That doesn't happen too often. And, a lot of things have, Belichick, one of the greatest head coaches of the last 2 decades, right? Adam Vinatieri, one of the most clutch kickers, that the NFL has ever seen. He's had great defenses. There have been countless of players, great defenses. I think the only knock on Brady is that he hasn't had the best wide receiver he's ever had was like Randy Moss, and that was only for like a few years, maybe like 2 or 3 years, if that. So I guess you could argue that Brady has done more with less on the offensive side of the ball. You could probably say that. But he's definitely had a lot of things go in his favor. That's for sure. Niner Sickness says Kyle is only 0-1 in the Super Bowl. Sorry, Jay and the baby. He wasn't the head coach of the Falcons, even though he was a coordinator. He did not have the last call on my humble opinion. Now, that's very true, but unfortunately, the perception is, Kyle Shanahan, hey, you had the lead. All you had to do is run the ball, man. All you had to do is run the ball. Unfortunately, that's the perception of Kyle Shanahan. And I know he's only 0-1 as a head coach in the Super Bowl, but sometimes perception is reality. Bryce says, go, Pack, go. Is Aaron Rodgers going to start week 1? Is he going to be on the team? Let me know, Bryce. Corey Davis, I can't wait for the season to start because I'm tired of this talk. Go Niners. All I want to do is win, KD. Don't matter if it's Trey, Jimmy, just win, baby. That's when it comes down to it. When you get on the gridiron, it starts in the trenches. All I want us to do is win. That's it. Let's see. Niners Signal says, Janet Bay, can you please safety for the Niners? I'm not sure what you mean. You got to rewrite that, Niners Sickness. Matt Navarro, the only problem I have with Jimmy is how much we're paying him. Well, that's the market for quarterbacks. I mean, when you look at it, he's probably, as far as quarterbacks' yearly salary, like I mentioned before, he's 11th. But, the Niners were in a desperate time. 2017, we really had to overpay for talent. Getting Jared McKinnon. I believe there was a linebacker. Used to play for the Seahawks. I want to say he was like the Super Bowl MVP. I forgot his name. But we overpaid for him. Maybe someone will help me in the chat. Trading for Quan Alexander. That was a reach. Drafting Reuben Foster. Like, we've had to overpay for talent, and we've had talent that hasn't really worked out. And Jimmy G, he was the savior. He was supposed to be the savior, and that's why the Niners, signed him to that long-term contract extension. Matt says Garoppolo's cap number is 26 right now. Even if he does start and eventually gets supplanted by Lance, the Niners are just burning money at this point. Yep, if they keep him. Swanson says, but why does he have great defenses? Because they use the cap savings from his contract to pick up players. You could say that, or you could say Bill Belichick does an excellent job of excellent job of coaching up his players. But my point is, Swanson, that most players' wives don't make more than them. Most players probably aren't married to supermodels, like one of the most famous supermodels of all time. That's so. Saying, oh, well, Tom Brady takes less money than every other player should, that's a whole different story. But obviously, I don't think that's the case. But no doubt, Tom Brady, he's one of the greatest to ever do it. That's for sure. Let's see. Swanson says, that is my entire point. All righty. And Swanson says, Mahomes is doing the same thing. He gets it. Yep. And we don't know. We don't know if, and speaking of the salary cap with Jimmy, we don't know if the Niners went to Jimmy. I would love to ask John Lynch this question. Have you gone to Jimmy and said, hey, Jimmy, can you take a pay cut or can you restructure your contract? That'll give us more flexibility in the salary cap. We don't know if they've asked Jimmy to do that. Swanson says, Rodgers is a rich man. If I was him, I would care more about my legacy than going from 100 to 120 million. Yeah, hey, that's your opinion. The owners are billionaires. The players have a short shelf life. I say, get what you can get. But yeah, I mean, the Tom Brady's, you say they're doing it right. Yes. But Tom Brady's in a unique situation, and the salary cap is funny money. It's funny money. They can renegotiate. They can push money down the line. They can give more money to you up front. Like it's all funny money. Niner Sickness says, by the way, I have the same cap you have on, brother. Love it. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I like this hat, man. I appreciate you. Tommy says Packers are still a finesse team. Yeah, I would agree. Niners Cygnus question: would you rather have that win in the Super Bowl or now having Trey Lance as our future quarterback? Wow, that's an amazing question. Because I feel if we would have won that Super Bowl, I don't think Trey Lance would be on the team right now. Some people feel different, and but that's a good question. I mean, we really don't know about Trey. We don't know about Trey. We don't know if he's going to set the league on fire. We don't know if he's going to be the next Russell Wilson. We have no idea. Honestly, I would probably rather take the Super Bowl personally, because if Shanahan is the boy genius, Shanahan's got the lineage. His father, he's a great play caller, a great offensive designer. He should be able to put a player who's maybe less talented than Trey Lance and set them up for success. I believe in the coach. So I'll take the Super Bowl, and I believe he'll coach up Jimmy. If not, he'll get another quarterback and who maybe has a similar skill set to Trey and make the most out of them. So I believe in Shanahan. So I would take the Super Bowl. Thank you, Roberto Hastings. I was thinking about Malcolm Smith. That's another guy that we paid for in 2017. We kind of had to do it because, 49ers were a losing franchise after Harbaugh left. 49ers Ultimate Report. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. He says, I'm working right and you on now. You got me from surprise. Got to go back to work. I'll rewatch later tonight. I appreciate you, man, coming through. Yeah, I wanted to come on at a different time. It was lunchtime with Jay in the Bay. So it's good to come on different times. And I get to see different people in the chat. I appreciate it, man. Marty says you have to take the Super Bowl. It's the drought you're dealing with. Exactly. Marty says Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, they haven't won it since the 90s. Jay Mouse, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. Let's see. Niner Signet says Jimmy G don't have a cap hit. Please explain the cap hit. Well, he's under contract. He has a contract with the Niners. I believe it's $27 million. And that's his salary that he earns. But it is different. Like, you could make a salary, but it could be a different amount that is a cap hit. So a player could make $30 million a year. His cap hit could be less. It just depends on bonuses, and it's a bigger deal. Spot Track, check out Spot Track, Niner Cygnus. They do a great job of telling you what the player makes, workout bonuses, signing bonus, what's guaranteed at signing. It's really complicated, the salary cap. Like, it's really complicated. Like, I look at it and sometimes I'm like, okay, he does this, he does that, and how is it different? But they do an excellent job of saying what the player gets, what workout bonuses, things like that. So they do a great job. Check out Spot Track. They do a great job. Let's see. Swanson says, I don't care about the owner's money. I care about the salary cap help. And I respect your opinion. Let's see. Swanson says, sure, it's funny money, but why do some teams do it much better than others? Because there's different levels. Some people are better at things than others. Obviously the Patriots did an excellent job with navigating their salary cap. They did an excellent job. They did an excellent job at drafting Tom Brady in the 6th round. Like, they did an excellent job at hiring Bill Belichick. Like, a lot of things lined up for the Patriots. But yeah, you're right. Some people are able to navigate that salary cap better. I think Prab Marate, I think he's done an excellent job with negotiating contracts. Prab Marate, our salary, czar, I think he's done a great job in doing that. And yeah, like you said, some teams are better than others. Swan Song, seems like the teams that know how to do it win. I agree. Swan Song says Jimmy does not guarantee you a Super Bowl. I agree with that. Who said that? I don't know anyone who said Jimmy guarantees a Super Bowl. Jay says prayers for Sherman. Let's hope he does not end up in jail. Yeah, there's supposed to be a courthouse hearing, I believe, on that today. I believe in about an hour. He's supposed to be seeing a judge, and a judge will probably set bail and things like that. But yeah, hopefully Sherman gets help. Swanson says, but of course, I would take the Super Bowl if it was guaranteed. Shoot, I would take a Super Bowl if it cost us losing Trey Lance. That's how bad I want 6 as well. Yeah, no one's arguing with you there. Jay says, no way we benching a $27 million quarterback. Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if Kyle Shanahan feels that Trey is ready and he's better than Jimmy, then I guess you put Trey in, right? It's like Marty says, I'm sorry, y'all. Dallas Cowboys have won a Super Bowl more recently. They have, but the Niners have been more successful over easily the last 2 decades. Jimmy making it rain with that 27 mil. Oh, man. And Swan Song is bringing us, I'm assuming these are the dead cap hits for the 2021 season. And, yep, Swan Song says that's the cap hit for the 2021 season. Niner Signet says, Jay intheBay, I'm saying you can definitely play as safety for the 40. Right. Nah, I'm much better at just, chopping it up with the fans, with the faithful, with the Niner Empire. I think I'm more of a service to you guys than on the field with the Niners. Just a hunch, though. Just a hunch. But I appreciate the compliment. Jay says, Roger Goodell does not care about the players, only about the money. Okay. Niner Sickness says, you do not want to restructure Jimmy G's contract. By doing so, all you're doing is extending him on the Niners. He needs to be gone by next year. Yeah, or you could ask him to take a pay cut. That's something else I would love to ask John Lynch. Did you ask Jimmy G to take a pay cut? That would have been nice, especially since, Jimmy G, what leg does he have to stand on? He hasn't been healthy. We know this story, faithful. So why didn't John Lynch ask Jimmy G to take a pay cut? We'll never know unless someone asks him. Jay says, we could have drafted Tom Brady. If we did that, we would have won Super Bowls after Super Bowls after Super Bowls. Yeah, 31 teams could have drafted Tom Brady on what? 6 different occasions. So, Swanson says Jimmy taking a pay cut would be ideal. Absolutely. Like if we give him $15 million would be totally fair. I think so. And I don't know why. Or if y'all negotiate to 18 to 20, why not ask him? Why not? What leg does he have to stand up? I don't know why Lynch didn't ask. We'll never know. But Lynch definitely should have asked him. Marty, I think coordinator change will make the biggest difference in the NFC best. Okay. Or in the NFC West. Swanson says, I don't know, is Tom Brady on any other team? Yeah, I mean, we'll never know. We'll never know. If Tom Brady was drafted to the Broncos, would he still have one? Who knows? We'll really never know. But Jay says, if I am Jimmy, I go somewhere else and go to a team that needs a quarterback. I agree. Hopefully he balls out. He proves he can be a starter, and he proves that he can stay consistent and stay healthy, and I think he definitely will get a starting job next year. I had a grand old time today talking with the faithful, talking with the Niner Empire. And I'm glad that Marty came through. He represented the Seattle Seahawks proud. I'm glad to see Marty was on with us today. You're definitely welcome anytime, Marty. And I appreciate everyone for coming through. All the people that were new here today, I appreciate you coming through. Hopefully you like the stream, you subscribe. I'm just going up to the comments to see if there's any other new people I recognize. I just want to appreciate them for coming through. 49er fans 21, I appreciate you coming through. Of course, Marty, always welcome to come through. Minister Brandon, Darth Voorhees, I appreciate you coming through as well. Always welcome to the stream. Swan Song was in the comments heavy, man. I appreciate all your contributions in the stream as well. Corey Davis, Matt Navarro, Niner Sickness. Let's see, CG Ruthless, 49ers Ultimate Report came through. Snacks, he was new. I don't think I saw him before. Snacks was new. And, of course, Matt Navarro. Luke Zach, 11, he was new. I had never seen him before, so I appreciate everyone's contributions to the chat. I definitely didn't plan on being on this long, but the time flew by. We're at about an hour and a half. I will be doing a stream again on Sunday. This Sunday it'll be 5 p.m. Pacific time. We'll be doing a Rams roundtable with Payo Time and Rams Showcase. So make sure you guys tune in Sunday, 5 p.m. Pacific, and we'll talk about them good old LA Rams. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think there were a few other comments. Let's see. Jay says we got a quarterback named Joe Cool. Swanson says that is why I think no other team has had this opportunity the 49ers have of winning with a rookie quarterback. No quarterback picked this high has had a roster like this. Now, that is very true. That is a good point. You know, obviously with Russell Wilson, I think he was a third-round pick, but he was drafted, and the Seahawks have basically been contenders ever since he's been on the team. But, yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think there's any other quarterback picked in the top 5 who had a roster like the Niners do. So that's an astute point. And I appreciate you subbing to the content or subscribing to the channel, Marty. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to definitely seeing you, Seahawks fan during the regular season. And you just got to keep up that same energy when the Niners and Seahawks play. Swanson says, because the Niners would make history if Trey wins it all as a rookie. Sure, it's a dream, but it's possible. I agree. It's possible. It's just never happened before. Swan says, thanks for having me. And chat was very gracious for all my comments. Yeah, I appreciate your comments. And Jay says, which teams could have drafted Montana? That's a good question. I'm trying to remember what round was Montana. Was he a second or third round pick? I think Montana was a second or third round pick, I think. 49ers first take. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. Just about to get off. I had a nice little noon lunchtime with your boy, Jay in the Bay. First Take says, just stopping in to say hi. Just got off work. Hopefully all is well with you, First Takes. I'm getting ready to head on out. And everyone have a good rest of your week. And, of course, stay locked in to Jay in the Bay for all your 49er news. And I will see you guys on Sunday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And it looks like Jay says third round. We picked him in the third round. Yep. So a lot of teams could have picked Joe Cool as well. I'll see you guys in the next stream. And thanks for watching your boy. Oh, yeah, before I say that, about Richard Sherman, I just want to say I'm behind Richard Sherman. Hopefully this is a cry out for help. And hopefully, Sherman gets help. And, obviously this wasn't in his character. And, I just hope that Richard Sherman gets well. And we'll see how this process plays out. Everyone have a good day. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And thanks for watching your boy, Jay in the Bay. See you guys in the next one.